Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to pop on and show you how I am beginning my October magic journal here. And so this is not for any prompt or anything. I just like to include an introduction into my journal, especially for these sort of themed journals. I know this is my October journal, but I am doing my own spin on an October daily, and I am following my October magic prompts, which I will leave a link to in the description box. So, for like these sorts of journals and projects similar to December Daily, I like including the first page to be an introduction to the journal. I tend to do this a lot with my themed art journals as well. I just I don't know, when there's a theme, when there's a significant theme to it, I just like having that introduction page in my journal. And so I am doing this how I would do my December daily introduction page. I am going to include the prompts list, so I did print mine out. And I'm going to include some sort of calendar, something that says October. I really wanted to use one of these Daphne's Diary pieces that said like "Hello October" or "Fall Vibes" and stuff like that, but the colors just didn't work. And so I decided to use a lot of my printables. And so the little calendar journaling card, those are my calendar cards that you can find in my shop. I will be sure to leave links down below to like everything that I use in this video. And so I decided to use that along with some of my Mystic Magic journaling pieces. And so I use the floral and the little cute kitty cat. I believe those are in the journaling printable. And then I use one of my B6 note papers that I printed out smaller. So I just kind of, I think I put like four of the papers on one sheet and then printed that, kind of shrunken down a little bit so I can get these little journaling pages. And so I'm using one of those on the other side of the doily. And so I'm going to use the doily here as sort of like a flip. So I'm going to adhere my prompt, my prompts image. I printed that out on like glossy photo paper. I'm going to adhere that to one side of the doily, and then later on you'll see that I put a piece of ephemera on the other side. And I'm going to just have my little calendar cluster on the left hand side there. And I play around a lot with the placement of that calendar cluster because for some reason I loved this composition that I had, but something was missing on the top right. And so on the bottom right there, I used this piece from a Pink Fresh Studio collection that says Happy Fall, because I did want something there that signified, autumn. And so that piece matched perfectly with the colors that I'm using right now. I was trying to just keep it so that everything matched to the papers that I had. And so on this page, I have like this ledger. It's one of the Maggie Holmes ledger from one of the digital collections, but I have it printed like the wrong direction. And on the other side, I have some Planner Society paper that I printed off, and the colors just match really well with my Mystic Magic printable, and so I knew I had to use that. And so I just luckily had this little Happy Fall piece in my stash, and that is from a Pink Fresh Studio collection. I can't remember which one. It was the one that came out in the fall last year because I did use a lot of that collection in my Boston travel journal. And so, yeah. And so I basically have my little cluster. Again, I'm just playing around with the positioning of everything. And I do end up finding something to put on that little empty space. I was trying to use this floral, this rose, but it just didn't work. I think the style was a little different than the cluster that I made on my printable. And so I end up using a black and white lace and whimsy sticker that I had in my stash, and that just kind of looked better. It pulled out more of that black in the black cat, and it just kind of pulled it on the other side, and it just filled up that space because that space just needed something to be filled. And that's it. That's this side of the spread here, I just wanted to do a cluster that had, October on it. The calendar wasn't really important. It's just I needed something that said October, that signified, hey, this is my October daily. And then I wanted a little sentiment that said, hey, it's autumn, it's fall, right? And so you see here, I'm just kind of putting my little prompts list that I printed out. I'm just putting it on that doily, and this doily is going to end up being kind of a flap. Normally when I have doilies in the middle of my journals, I just tend to glue one side of it down to the facing page. But this time around, I decided to use it as like a little, not quite a tip-in, but like a little page in itself, right? So I adhered my little journaling space, and so this is where I'm going to write my introduction to my journal. And basically, all it is just my intention. So I'm basically setting an intention for the journal, explaining what it is, what the project is, or the prompt challenge, what it is, and what I want to gain from it. And so I think I write, that I'm going to use this month to play around in my journal. It's not going to be serious. I just want to be in my journal every day. And so I've been really incredibly busy lately. And I think it's just because I'm just juggling a lot of different things. And so I find that I'm not in my journal every day, and I kind of missed when I was. Like I did a few of Liz Lamourouse's Here 5 Things, and that got me in my journal every single day because I had to write a list every single day because it was a prompt, right? And I really enjoyed that. I loved, one, being in my journal and having that time, even if it was just like a half hour, just playing around in my journal. But two, I loved the journal that came from it. It was this big chunky thing filled with all of my lists and all of my responses to the prompts, and I really, really loved that. So I kind of want to treat this journal sort of like that. I kind of want to rekindle that habit that I formed, those months that I did Here 5 Things, because I really enjoyed it and I loved the outcome of it. And so it's just more of me kind of being mindful of taking time out of the day to do that, right? And so that's basically what I write here as sort of my introduction to my journal here. And so you see here that I included a few pieces from the journal, my journaling principle. I put something magic this way comes, and then I put a butterfly, and I was toying with putting a different sentiment on like the first page. I still don't know what I'm going to put there. Probably what I'm thinking that I'm going to put there is I'm probably just going to write out October Magic 2022 and just put it there, and then like stamp the dates. Maybe I don't even have to stamp the dates because we all know that it's just going to be October 1st to the 31st, right? So I'll probably just handwrite October Magic 2022 on that and just put it over that ledger there. But for right now, I'm leaving it blank because I'm not quite sure. And so I think I was, looking through my stuff, seeing if there's anything else that I wanted to add onto these pages, and I don't think there is. And so I just go right in and journal in that. And again, I explained how I've journaled my introduction, basically just setting the intention, like kind of briefly explaining what the journal is going to be about, like what it is, what the prompts challenge is, and what I want to get out of it. Basically, I am doing my reason why. You know how Ali Edwards in December Daily always has the first page being the reason why for the project. That's basically what this is, and that's how I kind of treat all of my introductions to all of my journals, not just my December Daily projects. Anytime there's a journal that is themed, and I find that I mostly do it when it's themed, I always write a reason why. What's the reason for the theme? What are my reflections on the theme? Like I do that a lot with the Get Messy themes. Like whatever the theme is, I just kind of put my first initial thoughts of the theme and like what I want to get out of it. Like what are my expectations? What are my intentions of doing this journal for this theme? Because I don't do a lot of the Get Messy seasons, but the ones that I do, they resonate with me in some way. And so I kind of jot that out in my introduction, and that's basically what I'm doing here. And I kind of wanted to share that if you're kind of a little stuck on what to put on those first pages of your journal. And so that is my spread. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to dive into the challenge with you all. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!